Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Tat Chat and Merry Christmas. This is our last episode of 2025, and we are in the amazing Hand in Hand studio with Sophia Bourne and Hayley Webb. Thank you guys so much for coming on. It's a pleasure to have you. I can't wait to hear everything that you have to say.
Thank you for having us.
No worries. So, as we know, apprenticeships are very hot topics at the moment. So I would really like to deep dive into that topic and get both of your opinions on how apprenticeships should be, how they are, and all the pros and cons in between. So, Sophie, I would love to start with you and just get a background on your apprenticeship, how you started in the tattoo industry, and how it's been going ever since.
Thanks for having us.
No worries.
I would say my apprenticeship is worlds away from the ones that are today. I started tattooing 19 years ago now, so apprenticeships back then were just entirely different in every single way. Such different environments, different like groups of people. There wasn't even really such a thing as like mentors. Like there's all these like fancy words for everything now that just didn't exist back then. It was really just like being thrown into some crazy biker walking shop and like fending for yourself and sort of being taught by everyone and no one. And it was a little bit the blind leading the blind at the same time. It was like, there just wasn't the same like expertise of people now as the mentors being like really experienced and really having something to teach as there is now back then. So I think that was my experience coming into it. It was just like such a different world, different time, different way of coming up through in tattooing. And then whatever that happened in tattooing for 19 years, things have changed and in some ways good, in some ways not so great. Like there's parts of me that like hold on to that sort of old school mentality, and there are parts of that that do still work and that I agree with and continue to carry with me. But then when it came to taking Hayley on, it was like finding that perfect balance of what I knew and what was normal back then, but then also this modern day time of tattooing and how you can do better and be better. And then just trying to find a way of like integrating those things into Hayley's apprenticeship. And the way I teach her and mentor her and all this stuff is like the great qualities of the old, but with the, I don't know, more
Kind of like a modern outlook.
the more modern outlook, which is like a good thing too. Like, I don't want to say like PC because it's not that in a bad way, but the more like how time has gone by and how things have gotten better, so they should.
Yeah.
Like better practices in the workspace.
Yes, I think it's better for everyone overall at the moment in terms of, I mean, like harassment and just behaviors in the studio. It's
100%.
definitely gotten a lot better in the last few years.
So in those terms of like, better practices like that, definitely they can be gone with and you can do better in that way in this like modern time of teaching someone.
For sure. So to do with your apprenticeship, what was the one takeaway that you kept in your mind that you were like, I don't want to pass that on?
Lots of things from like being big things to like very tiny nuanced things. And so like the whole thing is like so complex to like, I guess, try and get down to in a convo, but that's what we're here to do.
Yeah.
I
would love for you to
outline.
That's
why
Oh, that would be amazing.
Like a big thing is, like I said, let's not do the whole like harassment bullshit because clearly that can go.
Yeah.
And then the tiny nuance things can be something like where it's like when you are an apprentice and you're working so hard for someone and all you want to do is try and please them, it would be something that like your boss could just show you in one small way, hey, I appreciate you for doing this and not letting that thing go unnoticed.
That's really lovely.
Or something like just very tiny things on a day-to-day basis of, not feeling like you're just there to slave away, make money. The boss just comes in, picks it up and fucks off. Like I very much wanted to be like part of the studio, be present, be here. Hayley started just as I was pregnant. So there was some time where I took away, but I was so self-conscious and so aware of being present for Hayley, being able to give all my time, my energy wherever I could, and not just let it be like, I'm taking her on, but then I'm just going to fucking bounce around here and out there and not ever really help and pitch in. Like I wanted it to be like, if I'm taking on this, um, not burden, if I'm taking on this
Child?
responsibility, if I'm taking on this responsibility, I want to come through with the goods. I want to be like a present boss, putting in my all and everything.
So you're not a burden.
You're not a burden, but it's a big responsibility.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and I think that maybe more people should know that
Yeah.
that it is a big responsibility and that you do need to put in more.
I think from everything that we've heard from other people that we've interviewed, right, the number one thing is always apprenticeships and how terrible they were. And I think this is the reason why I wanted to get you both on, right? Because, like, Hayley, I've known you for a few years now, and through Instagram and through socials and stuff, I've seen your apprenticeship and it looks phenomenal. But I would love to get your opinion on how it was, what you liked about it, and what it's taught you entering into the tattoo industry.
Yeah, cool. Well, I guess so I started my apprenticeship. I was a client of Soph's for what, close to 10 years. It's a really long time. It's a really long
Yeah,
time. So
wow.
we've known each other for a really long time. She's done like all this sleeve. She does my hand, my chest, and like we had a relationship already. And then I think I was here getting tattooed one day. I mentioned I was working in another shop, and she was like, "Oh, I didn't even know you wanted to be in the industry." I was like, "Yeah, but I wasn't going to tell you that. That's super embarrassing." I was going to be like,
Yeah.
"I'm not tattooing so much. Can you take me on?" And we just got to chatting, and I don't know, it just like unfolded, and we both stepped into this. Me being her first apprentice, me never apprenticing, we kind of figured it out together, and I think it was good. It was great.
It was kind of like the perfect scenario to like have an apprentice, because like I think that the way that apprentice should happen is that they do come to you and present themselves
Yeah.
10, 100 times over or whatever. Like I don't really believe that you need to call out for apprentices. I think that it's always felt to me like it's the person who comes to the shop, gets tattooed all the time, who is here the most. It's a very organic meeting. And it's like, yeah, you may not know it 10 years ago, but they keep coming back. And, you know, it's like that dynamic of them being around so often. And then it did help as well. You know, when you said that you were working as a counterhand in another shop, it definitely, for me, being my first apprentice, put my mind at ease in a little bit of a way, because she had some knowledge of how a shop would run, as well as then having to teach her from the ground up with tattooing. But it was just a very organic thing. And I think that we should all look out for that and really accept apprentices through that kind of way.
For sure.
I think it's a really
It's very
classic
special.
example. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, the way that a lot of people say to get a tattoo apprenticeship is literally just go and get tattooed and meet people.
Yeah.
And I think in practice, it's a really hard thing to kind of like try and do that. But obviously, it's one of those things that, again, it happens organically. And you can't push it. And the people that really want it are going to stick around, and they're actually going to stay around the industry.
For sure. And like we have people coming up all the time being like, "Oh, I have a portfolio. Can someone have a look at it?" And it's like none of us have ever seen them. We don't know who they are. Like they're just random people that just want a tattoo, which is great. But I think from my personal experience, like having that relationship with Soph already, like just made things tenfold. Like
Yeah.
it just made it so simple, so easy.
Yeah.
I just found like we already had a connection, and it just worked. And like obviously everyone's experience is different. For people,
Definitely.
there's lots of different apprenticeships out there.
I honestly don't think a lot of people can relate to the apprenticeship that you have had and to the relationship that you guys have built over the years.
Especially these days as well.
Quite rare, yeah.
I really wouldn't say it's like gatekeeping either. Like to say like, oh no, you just keep going and you ask around and you get tattooed in shops and you wait for the apprenticeship to come along.
Yeah.
that's not people like gatekeeping and trying to put you off tattooing. But when you've done that, that's when you know you're going to be in a shop that wants to look after you, that wants to put in the time,
Yeah.
that wants to invest in you, that is going to care for you. Putting out these like posts of saying, okay, we're taking on 10 apprenticeships, or we've got this after this after this. You can go and do that, but you're not going to have the same experience. You're not going to have the same entrance into the industry like you should. It's it's kind of tricking you a little bit. So when real tattooers say, go get tattooed, push, and keep trying to find it to be invited in, it's not that we're trying to be better than anyone, we're trying to force anyone out, but that just means you know that you've found the right people who want the best for you and are going to put in everything to you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
And I think that's because it's not an industry that is easy to keep going. So, like, it's a good job to have, obviously, right? But the amount of like passion and dedication that you need to see it through for a lifetime career is insane. You can't compare it to anything because it's not something that you can just walk in and just be there and get paid for, right? You actually have to work for every dollar that you get. And that can lead to so much burnout. And, you know, somebody who comes into it who doesn't necessarily love it, they're not going to see it through.
No.
So as a mentor, to take somebody on that doesn't particularly want it is a waste of time and it's a waste of resources. So it does make complete sense that you want somebody who is fully in it.
Yeah, because it's a big responsibility for both parties as well. Like, so took me into the shop knowing that I would be responsible for the shop, and she trusted me in that aspect where if she didn't have that trust in me, it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
Like, especially going on maternity leave, she knew, like, building up to that like her and Johnny could go and build this beautiful family and that the shop would be okay.
Yeah.
And like that's something that she trusted me and the rest of the team with, which we all like appreciated, and we just wanted the best for them.
Yes, it rallied heaps.
Like,
But then at the same time, it's like, I have to say to you, like, at this time, it's like, whether I'm on maternity leave or not, like, you have to let your apprentice know it's fucking tough these first few years.
Yeah.
Like,
And
it's
it
so
doesn't
fucking
even out
tough.
for a while.
Yeah, it's not easy. And like, you have to like give them like the forewarning that like, this is a really amazing career that can like reward you and provide for you. But like, it's not easy and it doesn't come like that. Like, you have to fight through years. I know you could have a good year, you could have a shit year. It can be up and down, but like, you do have to say to someone, like, I think I even said to you as well, like, because when I started, I was 17 in my apprenticeship. Luckily, I was still living at home for like at least a year. But even when I met Hayley, I was like, oh, you're what, 26? I was like, just be prepared because you have rents to pay now. You've got bills to pay. I could like just about get away with that. Like, as an adult starting a tattoo apprenticeship, you have to like say like, this is might not be the rewarding thing that you think it can be.
And you might not have the lifestyle that you had or want.
Yeah.
You know?
And like I took that on board, and I still worked mostly 7 days a week for 3 years of my apprenticeship.
Yeah.
Because I had to, living in Sydney.
Yeah, there's no other way.
There's literally no other way. And I was lucky that I had floristry to fall back on, and I was lucky that I had like a steadier income so that I could put forward like everything that I could into tattooing the rest of the time. And like after work and on my, like, if I had a day off, like I was always drawing or doing something, and I had in the back of my mind that this is not going to be easy, and it still was so hard, like financially.
I
Like,
don't really think it gets easier, to be honest. I don't really think it ever gets easier.
We've literally picked a job that is like
You
sole
work 24/7.
trader. You just ride by the wings of your fucking heels or whatever some saying is. Like, who the fuck knows what's going to happen? You never know. You can have a good week, you can have a shit week. Whoever these people are who think that tattooers earn like fucking millions of dollars is like, no.
No, I think it was the dumbest thing to get into tattooing for the money. Like,
It's not about
there was
ever.
there was a thing a few years ago that was like, oh, do it for the money because you'll earn so much. And then, yeah, realistically, it's like,
No.
no, online all the time, online, being like, a tattoo artist owns so much money because they charge this and this and this now. And it's like, you break it down, you get
No.
minimum wage.
Yeah.
That's it. You don't get anything more than that. And if you
Yeah.
do,
Yeah.
buying everything, like,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Never happens ever.
I guess for me, like, as well, like, I never wanted it for the money. I always loved tattoos. Like, ever since I can remember, like, reblogging on Tumblr, every single thing was like tattoos. And like, I looked up to so many people, especially like Claire Clarity was someone that I looked up to since I was like
Yeah.
14, 15. And she was there for my first tattoo, like tattooing myself. And I just think that's
so cool.
fucking crazy.
That's really cool.
I never thought in a million years that I would even meet her, let alone she would be there for my first tattoo. And now she's like a bud because of you, which is so insane. She's the best. She's the best. She's the fucking
It's
best.
so funny because you feel like that, but I think of Claire too. And in my apprenticeship, I was like, I didn't know her back then, but I was like a fresh tatter. Actually, I was an apprentice probably in a biker studio. And I was like, I fucking love this Claire Clarity chick. I love her work so much. And like, I just loved her. She was like the Sydney girl to get tattooed by. And I remember I messaged her for a tattoo and I emailed her and I was like, I want this tattoo and I want writing across my lower back and I want it to say great expectations.
Sexy.
That's gorgeous. Only since then have I thought about like what that actually comes across. I was
There's
like,
so many.
I think I've seen the movie like the week before and I was like, oh, what a cute movie. I just want that. Anyway, so
Expectations.
I'm so fucking above the booty. So glad that what actually happened was like I had emailed her for it. She was like, yep, come in. But then my bosses at the time were like, you can't get tattooed outside the shop. Oh, that's a big no-no. I only could get tattooed in the shop I was working at. I could not get tattooed anywhere else.
This is your great expectation.
I don't have a baby. I'm like, I'm lower back free. I've got all the room for the back piece now.
Still get it now.
Thank
Don't worry.
God. Thank God that didn't happen. God, back to
They
Claire
are.
Clarity.
The best.
It's like a system of love for these old girlies in the world.
How dare you?
So I think there's like, and there's a few more people in the industry like that as well that I've looked up to for years and I've been watching online for years and now they're just like my friends and I'm like, this is crazy.
It's weird, right? Yeah, I know.
I remember when I was like 18, 19, going to get tattooed at Ocean Ink by Liz Huxley May and I was just like, this is peak, you know, this is fucking
Like,
peak.
can't get better than this.
And now I like work across from her, like, and it's just insane. Like, I never thought
Yeah.
in a million years my life would be like this. And I think this was the place for me and this was where I was meant to be.
I think I hear a lot of stories from people about how they got into the industry, and there's a lot of that it's just kind of like everything clicked into place.
Yeah.
Like, not a single thing went wrong, and it feels too good to be true. But I think it's those sort of like instances where it's a perfect fit. Like, it is what it is. Take it as it comes, and
Yeah.
don't think too much
Oh,
about it.
I've got hella imposter
Yeah.
syndrome. Like, it's
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, but so
Yeah.
you should.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
every good tattoo artist have imposter syndrome.
Humble.
If you
For everyone, 20 years from now, you still need to have it. Otherwise, not good enough.
I think that was one of the things that I was taught during my apprenticeship as well. It's don't be too confident because you'll fuck it up there. Like, you have to have some level of nerve to do a good job because otherwise you're up your own ass and it's not worth it.
100%.
Like, you shouldn't be doing it.
You need to feel the imposter 10 years, 20 years, 30 years from now.
And I bet I will. I think
Yeah,
I
I will.
will. I
Yeah.
know I will. I know I will.
Everybody knows you will.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like going into tattooing as well, like at the very beginning when I first started tattooing people, I was like, this is so crazy. Like the imposter syndrome is crazy. Every single artist that I spoke to was like, oh, that never goes away. Never.
Yeah.
And I think like it's just so insane that people let us draw on their bodies and it's there forever.
I think
that's crazy.
Yeah, I think we completely forget about a lot of things when we're actually in it. So like, yeah, the fact that you're permanently marking somebody, we always forget about, you know, like a lot of people don't put effort into that and that it shows, but it's also the fact that you're scarring somebody and that's a responsibility that you can't forget about ever. yeah, like it a lot of the things in the tattoo industry get to people's heads, right? So you do have a lot of people with egos, and you do have a lot of people that act like celebrities, when at the end of the day we're all just normal people and we should act like it.
Yeah, and actually at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who you fucking think you are. Like, your job is actually just to make a client happy. So no matter what kind of ego or what scenario you have or anything going on, style of work you do, anything, it's like, if you thought about our job as a trade, you are there to give your client the best that you can do. And everything else doesn't fucking mean shit,
Mm-mm.
because it's about, like, in your mind, you have the process of, I've booked someone in, I've got to do the drawing for them, I've got to do this tattoo, I've got to give them the aftercare, I've got to send them away. That's all fine that you think like that. But still, the ultimate first priority is that you're there to do a service for that client. And that's all that fucking matters.
Yeah.
Over ego, everything, time,
Yeah.
what you post on Instagram, who cares? It's about that person who you're like giving the time to and who's giving you their money and their trust.
Yeah, except like someone's coming to you personally for a tattoo. They reach out to you. They're like, "Hey, I want this." Like, that's crazy. I think that some people lose that. What's the word?
They lose sight of it.
Sight of
Yeah.
how big it is
Yeah.
that someone is putting so much trust into
Yeah.
you as an artist to put something on their body for
I think they flip it around in the way that it's like, well, that person wants something that I can do and that only I can do. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, no, like, no. They can go to anybody. They've just, stumbled upon you, or they really like your work, and you're there to meet their expectations,
Yeah.
not disappoint them.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the time, tell me if this is all the time, but especially in the modern scene, there is a lot of misinterpretation of what you're getting and what this person is there for, where people do take it as, oh, they're a fan, or, oh, they just love my work so I can do whatever I want, And I think, like, especially now, it's very obvious.
Yeah.
And I think it's definitely an issue with the modern scene.
Yeah.
But I'm also only a few years into this, so I'm not sure if that's always been a thing.
I think that, like, definitely with the modern scene, that can be a thing, is that like they're a fan, they've come to me, something like that. I think that can still trickle through to us elder folk. Because I know tattooers who've been tattooing for as long as me, and they still are like, oh, well, I'm going to take my artistic fucking representation over this. And I agree totally to a certain level, where you're going to chime in when you notice as a tattooer that technically something won't work.
Yeah.
But if you're a tattooer worth any fucking sauce or salt, then you do what the client wants. And, like, yes, they can come to you. They might not come to you. They come to you with an idea. If you can do it, whether you like it or not, you should do it. Technically. Artistic, like, things that you pick and choose not to do, that all has to go away. Again, you're there for them. It's not like, look, I look all the time, like, I do flowers, botanical stuff.
Yeah.
That's what most people put out, and it's what every tattooer does. They have a specialty. It's what they're known for.
Yeah.
But I would like to think that if a client come in and they asked for a slight custom thing or a little change to that if you can make it work and it's not at the jeopardy of the tattoo turning out shit, that you can provide that for them over your own ego of saying, no, I don't do that.
It's not the vision
It's not the vision I have.
Yeah. I completely agree with you.
A little bit.
Yeah, because at the end of the day,
They want. Who cares?
if your client's not happy, that is going to spread. You're not going to get any, like, word of mouth is a huge thing when you're finding a tattoo artist. And if you've got a client out there that's so disappointed in you, they're going to spread it everywhere.
Yeah.
The amount of clients you're going to lose from that is not worth a tiny little change. Like, it is a service industry in the end. And we're not here to do whatever the fuck we want. That's what Flash is for, or that's what drawing on paper or painting is for, not tattooing on somebody's skin.
Yeah. I think that's like a wave that came along with the, like, it came along with the tattooers make heaps of money wave, was the tattooers are like rock stars. Like,
Yeah.
and they go hand in hand together. They make heaps of money and they're fucking rock stars hand in hand, But like those two things just got like all jumbled together somewhere in there for a long time. And it's just not like that at all. Like we had a really fucking good time of tattooing between 20 and 10 years ago. Everyone was fucking smashed with work, like more tattoos being done than ever, turning people away. And then you see in the last 10 years to now how much tattooing can dip and then how much that fucking rock star money imagery thing goes completely out the window because it is not realistic to continue to act that way when tattooing takes dips and roller coasters
Yeah.
to keep behaving that way. That's when you realize, oh, I have to just make the customer happy and do what they want because I am there to serve them.
Yeah. And I think we are currently in a dip in the industry.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
this whole year has been like that, and it has shocked so many people
So many people.
who have never been through it before. Me
Yeah.
personally, I've never been through it before, right? I came into this in the COVID boom
Yeah.
of tattooing, right?
Yeah.
So there was work for everyone. You were booked out months in advance, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden this year, nothing.
Yeah.
You know,
So
so
then what happens when you can only tattoo like a certain niche thing? You're fucked.
you do, yeah,
You're
100%.
fucked. Like if you can only do one
You
niche,
really do.
it's like all these like young apprentices who thought they were like getting it at one point are suddenly screwed because in a quiet time of tattooing, they suddenly cannot branch out and do whatever walk-in comes through the door to pay their bills
Yeah.
because they were so stuck on this niche artistic idea or whatever they had, and they
It's like-
can't do anything to save their skin.
That was a huge thing when you took me and you were like, I want you to be able to do a lot of different styles. And I was like,
100%.
absolutely. Like, I don't want to box myself into anything.
100%.
I want to be able to do black and gray. I want to be able to do color. I want to be able to do micro realism. Like, I want to be able to do what any single person walks through that door. I want to be able to do it.
Yeah.
And I think tattoo all-rounders are actually a dying breed.
Oh,
Like, there's
absolutely.
not a lot of people out
Yeah.
there who can. And if they are out there, they've been in it for so many years. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's not something that's being taught to apprentices these days. And I think that's one of the issues with modern apprenticeships
Yeah.
as well,
100%.
is that they do prioritize niches,
Yeah.
which you can screw yourself over so easily with
Yeah.
that.
Look, it's like good and bad. Like, it's great to be able to do one thing and do it really well. But I just think you're shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah, like you can get into doing one thing over time and doing it really well, but like you still need to learn all the basics to
Absolutely.
get to that point.
Yeah, like if someone comes in there like, hey, I want this, I don't ever want to be like, oh,
Oh, sorry, I can't.
can't
Could
do
someone else do it? Yeah,
like,
stupid.
and for that person to want to get a tattoo, build the courage up to come in and then be like, yeah, I want this. And then we're like, oh, sorry, we don't want to sling. Like, that doesn't look good on the shop. It doesn't look good on the tattooist.
Yeah.
It doesn't look good on anything. That person's going to leave and be like, well, that was fucking shit.
Yeah.
Like,
And then they're not going to come back.
they're not going
Yeah.
to come back.
Yeah.
Like, I guess it's good, very good to research your artist. The best thing you can do when getting tattooed is research your artist, find who you want, find someone's work that you love, go and get tattooed from them. But if you're just walking down the street, you see a tattoo shop and you want to get a tattoo, there should be nothing stopping you from going in and getting what you want.
Sick. Let's
Yeah.
go back to that.
Like, that's hectic.
Walk-ins.
Just let's go back to walk-ins.
And like, we've got flashbooks on the table, like people can come in and flip through. There's like,
Any one of us, whoever's free, can do it.
yeah, like I think literally if you're shooting, like you're shooting yourself in the foot if you can't do something.
Yeah.
And like, I first going into this was like, I'm terrified, petrified of doing literally anything, but I'm gonna do it because it would be stupid not to.
Yeah.
If worse comes to worse, Sophia fix it. 100%.
That's my job. That's my job as Tut Mama.
As a mentor, yeah.
As Tut Mama, I'm here to fix what she fucks up.
Exactly.
That's exactly what my job is.
Oh,
I haven't had to do it, everyone. I haven't had to fix a single thing.
thank you.
I would love to know from you, being a recent graduate of an apprenticeship, what was it like? What was your day-to-day activities, and what did you love about it?
So I would come in, hopefully earlier than everyone, set up for everyone, make sure the shop was nice and tidy and clean. I would do my cleans, my mops, taking out the bins, the general
Yeah.
shop business. And then I would draw. If I had appointments, I'd do those. I would solely pack Soph up and down. If she had multiple appointments, I would always pack her down, do tubes, rip and paper towel, just like
All the fun stuff.
all the fun
Yeah.
stuff. For about three years, I think I was solely an apprentice for about a year and then started tattooing. So I've been tattooing for just over 2 years now.
Like shop duties for a year, do you reckon? And then like tattooing for like 2
Yeah.
as an apprentice. Yeah. I think that's a good amount of time.
I think so too. But I think like as much as I wanted my apprenticeship to end, seeing it come to the end, I was getting scared.
Yeah.
And it's not that I don't think that if I ever needed anything, I can't go to Soph.
Should just believe
What do
the
you
fuck out of
want,
you now.
peasant?
You're one of us now. You got to fight for yourself.
Figure it out. Like I'll always have her as my mentor. I'll always have her as someone I can go to and someone I can confide in with anything, whether it be personal or tattooing. And I think from this we've grown like a really beautiful relationship. We joke about me being her daughter all the time, and
And you guys actually look
we
related.
look alike. There's been many instances
Exactly the same. Yep.
where her clients have come up the stairs and be like, "Hey," and I've been like, "Hey," and they're like, "I'm here to see you." I'm like, "No, you're not."
Fair enough.
Yeah, Soph's out the back. Let me go get her. So, and like, even Soph's friends have come up to me like, "Soph," and I'm like, "Nah."
Even my sister was like, she looks heaps like your sister. And I'm like, well, that's weird for you to say that.
She said, I look more like your sister's version. She does.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think we've just like had like a really good relationship, and like she's definitely been someone I can always count on through this hardship. And like as easy as my apprenticeship was, as some people like to think, it
Not you.
not me.
No.
I think with an apprenticeship, yes, like there are different waves, and I think one of my biggest waves was financial and having to work 7 days a week, and obviously having burnout and having to juggle all of that and still be present in the shop and still put on a brave face and still learn something, which as an adult is really difficult. Like,
And I think a lot of people look at that and go, you've worked 7 days a week for 3 years. Why was it worth it? Like, I think even like clients coming in, I've overheard it quite a lot actually, where it's kind of like somebody will outline how to get into the industry or their apprenticeship, and the client will just be like, why would you do that? Like, why would you put yourself through that?
it's worth it.
It
100%. Being able to like help someone through something, if it's a trauma tattoo or just be able to put something beautiful in someone's body, is absolutely worth it. Like, I think having those relationships with clients and having people have that trust in you, it's a feeling that like no other. Like, there's nothing else that can ever replace it. Like, having someone get something for someone that's passed away, or
There's
having
so many
someone
different stories.
so
that you
many different
hear.
stories,
Yeah.
and it's just like having that like beautiful moment when you finish the tattoo and they first see it and they're like, wow, and like that feeling is crack. Like that feeling is good.
Proper mess. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the good shit. So it's just like that is what makes it all worth it. That's what makes working 7 days a week, fucking 100,000 hours a week, makes everything worth it.
I think we're really here for the connection, for the human experience of meeting somebody, getting to know them, and just being a part of their lives in such an interesting way.
Yeah.
Like, you can't really compare it to much. And I think like I do it a lot with like the different businesses around me, right? So I would go back to a cafe because I've met the owners or I know the barista or something like that. And just that small 5 minutes a day where you go and order a coffee, just it starts your day off right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So if I didn't have that connection with somebody, I'd be like, well, what's the point? I'll just forget about it. Don't worry about it. Like, I don't care. And I'll just go about my day being like, well, I haven't had a nice experience today. So,
I think like as humans, having those small, beautiful human interactions is really important. And having like such a meaningful interaction through tattooing is so important. Even like finding someone and then meeting someone and then being like, oh, what do you do for work? I'm like, oh, I'm a tattooer. And then me giving them a business card or telling them, and then they come back later. I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I met you in the club and now you're here getting tattooed by me. Like, this is crazy.
I think like going back as well to the question of like what are the jobs, it's like interesting because now that Hayley's graduated, we're literally like going through all those things where it's like the actual jobs of what she does is now coming back onto Johnny and myself.
Yeah.
What it was like before we took on Apprentice. And it really is like everything from like a daily routine of coming in, cleaning, setting up, taking out the bins, changing the bins, welcoming clients in, getting them settled, checking their consent forms, all that kind of thing, and then doing another clean or whatever at the end of the day. And so then it's come back to John and I where we're reassessing, okay, now our apprentice is gone and she's not here anymore. This comes back to us again. And between two people, it's still quite a lot of work to do. Like John's going to be doing all the emails, the supply ordering, the paying the bills, the getting the bins sorted out, getting the supplies coming in, going to Costco, doing all these kinds of things. For me, it's going to be I'm doing my own tubes again. I'm putting on the sterilizer. I'm distilling the water. Like there are so many little bits and pieces that go on in a tattoo shop, so many jobs to do. And fuck, it feels good when you have an apprentice to do it. But it's absolutely not a reason enough at all to continue getting them just to do
I
those
was
jobs.
about to ask, will you get a new apprentice or not?
No.
Why?
Not unless it happens naturally like it did before.
In another 10 years.
It's not. Who knows when it will be, but it certainly won't be so that John and I don't have to do the work.
Yeah.
Because that's the work that we had to do before we had Hayley. We had the shop. We had our shop for 5 years, 4 years or something before Hayley. I've been tattooing for 15 more years before that without an apprentice, where I had to do those jobs myself. So all those things of operating a tattoo shop and things that we've got to order, we've got to do, we've got to buy, we've got to send off at the post office, that's okay to come back on us. And it's not like, oh shit, now let's get someone new in just to fulfill those jobs.
And
That's
like
not a reason enough to get a new apprentice.
responsible of you guys. Like to just not be like, oh, I don't want to fucking do this.
Yeah, because we're literally talking about how we're in the slowest time of tattooing.
Yeah.
And like, what the fuck is that going to do to serve anyone if we just hire a new apprentice after Hayley's been done?
Yeah, no, you're not going to be setting them up for success.
You're not setting them up.
No.
And you're also not looking after who you already have.
Yeah.
Like you have enough then people in your studio already to look after, enough people working here to do walk-ins, to take in that stuff. Why on earth are you getting someone new in and promising them something when you can also just look after your own people that already are here and exist?
'Cause I think
Just for the sake of doing some shop jobs.
it's a really easy excuse that I think a lot of studios use, that it's free labor, they can do all of the dirty work, when you're not actually providing this person with anything but all of the shit jobs that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of refreshing
Yeah.
to hear that you don't actually want a new apprentice straight off the bat.
No, I think it's so, like I said to you before, I think it's the weirdest question that I've been asked in the last week is like, so now will you get a new one? And I'm like, what do you mean? Absolutely fucking not.
Just finished that one.
It might not be like ever again. I might be like one and done forever.
And that's
Because-
nice.
You're very special, Hayley. Don't worry about it.
It's just not looking after them or yourself or your already people. It's not looking after anyone.
No. So you touched on it before, right? But with your apprenticeship, what was something that you wanted to carry on to your apprenticeship that you provided, Hayley?
I wanted her to be an all-rounder. 100% that was it.
Yeah, right. Okay.
When I think back to it now, it's like, wait, I want her to have the grit and I want her to have the fucking tough skin because that serves you well in this industry.
The fuck out of her.
I-
to get her to have. You were like, she
What have
can't
you been
get
saying to people? What have you been telling people?
Isn't that the way to do it? You just haze them.
No, that's what I'm saying. You skip. You can skip the hazing, but you can teach them to be an all-rounder, and that is the job done.
So sorry. Don't worry about that. Okay, so in what ways did you provide Hayley with tough skin?
I don't think I have provided you with enough tough skin. I think I could have gone further. And if we're talking about my kind of apprenticeship, there are many ways that I could have gone harder on you. But I would like to think that I provided you with tough skin in as much as it's not about like being bullied into something. It's about giving you like the insight to all the industry that gives you the tough skin. So like it's about introducing you to a lot of tattooers. And it could be that you meet one that you just don't vibe with heaps well. And it's like that doesn't have to be a problem. You just go about your day, you treat each other really nicely, and then you move on from there. Because like you're not always going to love everyone you meet. You might have a guest artist that comes in and they're just doing their thing, and we're used to us like bantering and all this kind of stuff. And if you don't have that same thing, it's like it's just experiences of like meeting different people, meeting different clients. You know, it could be a tough skin as in like, yeah, you have a client who normally you would never meet in your circle, but you meet them here in the shop, and it's just about you navigate that appointment with them in a way that's like fine and respectable. And again, you're doing your job that you're supposed to do. And you just let, whatever you don't agree with fall over
Don't
your
need to
head.
fuss over it.
That's
Yeah.
the tough skin.
Yeah.
It's not about bullying. It's just about meeting so many different kinds of people and learning what to let go and what to really take on.
Yeah.
And what's just not worth it, you
I
know?
think, yeah, I actually think that's really helpful, to be honest, because I wasn't given much insight into the industry when I was an apprentice. And that set me up for anybody who had more experience being like, oh, well, obviously they know everything. So I listen to everything, take on everything. And then it's only years later when you reflect and you're like, oh, that was terrible, actually. Shouldn't have took that on. So, yeah, I think it is setting you up for an easier time, like in the future when you do hear something that you're like, I don't agree with that, and you don't take it on. You're just like, well, that's that person. I don't need to deal with that, actually.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that was one of the bigger lessons that Soph did teach me was what to let roll off my back and what to actually stand up for. And I think there is a really fine line, especially with such a small industry, that some things can be make or break, or some things can just be drama, and it's not needed.
Yeah.
And it's just silly, unnecessary things that will just eventually be nothing.
Yeah.
And there are things that can ruin careers, and there's a very, very, very big difference between those.
Yeah.
And it's just the people that you surround yourself with know who you are and know your intentions. That all that matters.
Yeah. I think over time you build that type of clientele that is so in tune with you that you don't even really have to tell them who you are or what you do, because it's just a vibe thing. Like, the people that are there for you and that are going to be coming back and that are good clients and all that sort of stuff. That's all that really needs to happen.
My regular clients are like the best people in the world. Like, I love them
They're awesome.
so much. And all the new clients that I've been getting as well through the shop and through Instagram, every single person that I've met, I'm just like, this is crazy. You're all so nice.
It's a really weird thing. Like, even in my apprenticeship, when I would meet the people that would be coming in, I'd be like, but why are you so similar? Like, how does that happen? Actually, I don't understand this. And still to this day, people come in that I just instantly click with, and I'm like, but why? Like, but how do you know based off an Instagram post of a tattoo that we would get along? Like, it's weird, but it happens all the time. So 2025 as a whole has been really interesting. What did you guys think of it, and what do you think will happen next year in the industry?
I think for me, especially coming into tattooing at this time of the Great Tat Depression, it has given me the tools to navigate through it. And I think the only way that I can look through it is with positivity and think that it will only go up from here. And I think it's probably going in a history repeats itself wave where soon it will just be like the baddies and the delinquents getting tattooed, which I'm all for. Come get tatted. And then it will do its around because it became like the delinquents, and then it was trendy, and now it's the delinquents again. And
Yeah, 'cause a lot of people are getting laser and
A
stuff
lot
like
of
that.
people are
That's
trying to
gone.
get good tattooed
Yeah.
lasered off now, which
Yeah.
is insane to me, even though I'm lasering some tattoos, but it's to get new ones.
Yeah, laser is a tool. Like
Yeah.
anybody can do it, and so many people do. And it's
Yeah.
not just for the fact of, oh, I hate my tattoos now, I'm done with them. Like, no, like, yeah, I'm considering laser as well because I'm like, well, I just took up space that I could do something cool
I
with,
could
you know?
so much cooler there. So
Yeah.
I think there's the difference between like getting laser for because you got a trendy tattoo and you're like, oh, I actually hate it, and now it's trendy to not have any tattoos. And I think as society going through trends, I think it will go in waves of tattooing again, and I do have hope for the future that it will pick back up, but it might take a little bit, and I'm ready to ride that wave.
Yeah, it's every few years. Hey, I think that's something that's definitely been taught to us all this year, especially like me and the people I'm around being new to the industry. This is the first wave that we've actually seen.
Yeah.
And then hearing all the time that it's actually completely normal, we're like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
a little bit of confidence. But like,
It's
yeah,
funny
it'll
because
come and
my
go.
perspectives are the same as yours. And you said, oh, coming from someone who's been tattooing for 3 years, this is how I feel. And I'm like, coming from someone who's been tattooing for 19 years, I agree. I feel like from even 19 years, it's the same thing where it's like, I just think that it will come back around again.
Yeah.
And the
Always
same
got
with
hope.
laser. Like people from 19 years ago and 40 years ago have been getting tattoos lasered to then get more work on top. So the whole laser thing is like, fine, it's just creating more room for us. But it's just these dips and these roller coasters. And I think from 19 years, you have seen already a few waves of that. From 3 years, you're experiencing your first one. But tattooing isn't dead and it never will be.
No.
It never will be. It'll come back up.
No,
It's fine. We just got to ride it.
just gotta see it through. Hey.
Just a wave, baby.
Yeah. And I think that's
And
an
if you're an
all-round
all-rounder, it helps.
There we go. From both of you being a recent graduate and you being almost 20 years in the industry, what is a piece of advice that you would give to somebody just entering now?
Should we go first?
No.
If you're looking for an apprenticeship, please look the right way and really like keep asking in the right places to get a proper tattoo studio apprenticeship.
Yeah.
Don't buy into these like pay for one things or you're one of 12 that they're taking on. Just keep fighting for a spot in a boutique shop.
Yeah. Build a rapport with an artist and just stick to it. And one that you admire, that you really
You love getting
work
tattooed by, keep getting
Just
tattooed
harass
by
them.
them.
and tell them.
Yeah, harass the shit out of them. They'll eventually give in.
But I do genuinely think, like, as someone that had like a more traditional apprenticeship these days,
Yeah.
I think in the long run it will like help me better and it will guide me in the right direction. Where I think sadly some apprenticeships either won't make it or it'll just be different. And I think
Yeah.
finding an apprenticeship where you can really like have a rapport with someone and have a relationship with someone and be part of something amazing just makes a world of difference. And I think it's the best thing that you could possibly do.
Amazing.
That's cute.
That was very
Please
cute.
believe it.
Amazing, hey? She actually liked your apprenticeship. That's crazy.
Congratulations to Finishy. And Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas!
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on. Thank you for having us to the Geek Studio, and I loved hearing everything that you had to say about apprenticeships. See? No worries. Merry Christmas, Denise.